Meet your hero, Othello the Moor, a charismatic general, an alien to Venetian society, and husband to the most beautiful woman in the world. At first glance, you will notice his tall and muscular frame, which represents his martial prowess. Green eyes give him a keen look to his gaze, but are also a window to one of his gravest vices. Othello's 7 major strengths are that he's noble, honest, proud, trusting, diplomatic, passionate, and reasonable. Othello is noble by the way he values virtue and honesty more than his reputation. He is honest by the candid nature of his speech when insisting to Barbancio that Desdemona's affections were genuine. Othello's pride is another admirable quality, shown by his words, supporting that he is an apparently resilient and respectable war general. Othello's trusting attitude towards others depicts his ability to see the best in the people around him. Like his soldiers, Othello is very diplomatic in his speech and manners, regardless of whether a person he is conversing with is in a position higher or lower than him. Othello's passion is an admirable trait because his love for Desdemona is a fiery spirit which drives his actions. His position in the army requires him to be reasonable, and that translates into his personal life as well when making decisions and creating opinions. However, every hero comes with some fundamental flaws. Othello's 5 most significant weaknesses are as follows: jealousy, naivety, insecurity, aggression, and obsessiveness. Othello's jealousy inspires his violent actions later in the plot. His threat to cut off Cassio and Desdemona's noses, ears, and lips ensues further violence. His naivety may be his greatest downfall, as he easily trusts Iago, who just happens to have cruel intentions to satisfy his selfish needs. His insecurity revolves around his being viewed as a foreigner, and mainly a black foreigner. He knows he's inferior, and that's also the root of his jealousy. Othello's aggression shows his lack of self-control, which leads to him ending his life when he was overwhelmed by anger and despair. His obsession drives him nearly insane and has him mistrusting Desdemona. It drives his jealousy and aggression. Your mission is to find these symbols: transportation from Venice to Cyprus, a handkerchief, a candle, a sword, an old black ram, and a horse. First, you have been accused by Desdemona's father, Barbancio, of tricking his daughter into marriage. You must prove your innocence. In this symbolic interpretation of Othello's character, he is shown to be half human and half beast. The dark forested wilderness in the background highlights his untamed, brutish character. His sword drips with blood after his murderous deed, and his eyes are green with envy. His hands are gripping the handkerchief that was manipulated to destroy his relationship with Desdemona. Othello and his underlying insecurities shine through. Here, Iago insults Othello, calling him a beast and animal. In other words, Othello is not and cannot be civilized. The horse remark represents how he is an outsider to Venice's ordered society. Othello is deeply in love with Desdemona. However, his love for her makes him possessive and controlling. The reason for this is that he's insecure about himself, as he is black and in society at the time, he was unequal to his neighbors. What he lacked in natural rank, he makes up for in diplomacy and social engagement. Othello experiences a stormy journey from Venice to Cyprus, a journey which contrasts between the civilized and peaceful Venice and the chaotic and wartime Cyprus. This reflects the transformation that Othello and Desdemona's relationship will face. Jealousy is Othello's ultimate downfall. Only stoked by Iago filling him with doubt, Othello begins suspecting his wife of infidelity. The handkerchief could represent his love for Desdemona. Othello first used the handkerchief as a token of love for his wife. When he first begins to feel the pangs of jealousy and gets a headache, Desdemona tries to wrap the handkerchief around his head to give him relief, which he quickly dismisses without thought and causes it to fall on the ground. This seems to parallel the moment later in the play when none of Desdemona's words of love and reassurance could calm him, once he becomes blinded with rage. Once Othello notices the loss of the handkerchief after it was gone, he became obsessed with it and realized how important it was to him. With Desdemona, too, he only truly appreciated her value and purity after he mindlessly killed her. Swords and weapons represent barbarism and violence. Othello's curt and forceful order to sheathe their swords shows Othello's noble character, as he emphasizes that conflict should be resolved by diplomacy, not with swords. Here, his level-headedness contrasts with the short-tempered savagery of the other men, and seems to uphold his status as a respected leader. Desdemona represents the light. Othello is comparing her life to a candle and weighing out the choices of whether he should murder her or not. He realizes that a candle can be relit, while Desdemona will be gone forever. Yet he decides to kill her. Othello blowing out the candle symbolizes him putting an end to Desdemona's life and foreshadows her death. The old black ram is symbolic to Othello. Rams symbolize leadership, determination, authority, and power. These traits can be seen in Othello through his prominent role as a commanding leader for the Venetian government. Racism plays an immense part in people's judgment toward Othello because of his black skin tone. In addition, being with Desdemona, a beautiful young white female, enhances the racist remarks towards Othello because of the contrast between them. Old black ram symbolizes the way society looks on towards Othello as an untamed animal. Othello trusts the people around him easily. Unfortunately, due to this characteristic, he fatally puts his trust in the wrong person, Iago, who manipulates his trust by filling him with doubt. Throughout the play, Iago only plots against Othello as revenge for giving Cassio the lieutenant position instead of him, and possibly sleeping with his wife, corrupting Othello's relationships with his wife and best friend along the way.
The lady was blameless throughout. Iago! Iago! How I misprize that, sir! May that gent be as damned eternally, and may this to suffer in the living world. I should have hath believed in my loyal cousin Cassio instead. And to Emilia, most loyal to mine wife, I owe mine eternal thanks for opening mine eyes and revealing the truth. To those who are listening, mark mine words. Love wisely, trust selectively, envy only with cause.